How are we? Good. Great. So thank you for having me. By the way, as you know, I come from very far away. I come from the country of Australia. Some people even believe that Australia doesn't even exist if you ask to the flat earthers, right? But it does exist. It's a reality. That's where I live, and it's 14 hours from here, from Germany. It takes 26 hours to go from Germany to Australia. So it's a very long trip. I'm honored and I'm privileged to be here with you today, guys. And my number one goal today is to give you a lot of value. Okay, that's my goal. I want to give you a lot of value. I want everybody to walk away from this mini presentation today and have some additional tools in your arsenal to make sure that you build a better sales team, a more aggressive sales team, and to make sure that you guys are going to close more deals moving forward. Does everybody like the idea of this? So I'm going to give you everything that I have. I'm going to give you my energy. I'm going to engage as much as possible, but I need you guys to be the same with me. Is that cool? I don't want to see anybody falling asleep. I don't want to see anybody yelling. I don't want to see anybody getting bored. I want to make this very fun. I want to make this very interactive, and I want the energy in the room to be absolutely amazing. Do we have an agreement when it comes to that? Yes. Otherwise, what I usually do, I get everybody to stand up and to dance for 5 minutes. I don't really want to do that, so let's have good engagement from the start. So, are we ready to get started? Yes. Are we ready to get started? Yes. Okay, a little bit better. Well, nice to meet you. So my name is Patrick, and I started working in sales in 2015 in Australia, right? So very similar story to Tarek, right? We started in the same sort of business. We started with the same actual manager, now that I think about it. We had exactly the same manager, and we were both lucky that we had the privilege to work with Tim Kennedy directly, right? So when I started in Australia, I actually used to live for 2 months with Tim Kennedy inside his house, and was the most terrifying experience of my fucking life, okay? Every single morning we used to go to work together, and every single morning he stopped the car for 30 minutes and reminded me why I was the biggest failure in life and why I was doing everything wrong with everything that I was doing. Every single fucking day. It was terrifying, but 8 weeks after working with Tim Kennedy, I built a team of 15 people. I went from 0 to 15 in the space of 2 months because he's very good at what he does and he's very good in the way that he teaches. So starting in 2015, in 2017, I opened up my own business under the guidance of Tim Kennedy in Australia, and in 2018 I lost everything. So that experience was very short. I was so happy when I opened my own business. I remember making almost $500,000 in the first 4 to 5 months. So I was tracking well, I was building. All of a sudden I took too much risk. I started opening businesses everywhere. I launched a green powder for gyms. Do you guys know Anytime Fitness? Anybody here has heard of Anytime Fitness? Yes, yeah, you do. I launched this green powder and I signed up Anytime Fitness Australia for 365 gyms to sell my product in their gyms. But then I wasn't good with numbers, I wasn't good with math. I finished all my money and I collapsed. That was the end of 2018. Not only I lost my business, I was $200,000 in debt. So there I was, after being 3 years in Australia, after living so far away from my family, after literally sacrificing everything. I remember sitting in my fucking bedroom. I almost wanted to cry because I was like, fuck this. I've been working 7 days a week, 16 hours a day for the last 3 to 4 years, and here I am. Not only I'm back to zero, I'm actually minus $200. As you guys can imagine, that's not a very good feeling to have. So at that stage, I asked myself, what should I do? What should I do now? Should I stop and should I go back home, or should I try one more time? And I said, you know what? I'm going to try one more time because I'm not a failure. And the idea of going back home and having my family picking me up at the airport and picking up a failure did not sit well with me. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try one more time, and this time I'm going to do it right. Then I started again in 2019, and I did an analysis of myself. I truly sit down. I had an honest conversation with myself, and I asked myself, what is holding me back in life right now? What are my behaviors? What are my toxic habits that I need to remove from my life altogether in order to achieve what it is that I want? I quit smoking, I quit drinking, I quit fucking everything. I was going to the gym every single day. I was only eating healthy. I really went for it. And in that year, we managed to go from 2 people, so myself and 1 employee. At the end of the year, we had 40 employees in the building. And I was very happy with life again because I was like, finally, I can breathe again. I rebuilt the business until in 2020 fucking COVID happened, as you probably remember. Now, in Australia, in Melbourne, we actually had the longest COVID lockdown in the world. It was almost 2 years. Being Italian, I broke every single law and every single rule, obviously, right? So I tried to run away from the lockdowns as much as possible, and I was traveling. Braden, you were there, you remember that period. I took 40 people with me, and we rented cars and everywhere, and we started traveling all across the country of Australia. And wherever I went, I booked several apartments in a hotel, and I had everyone staying there. And when there was a new lockdown, we ran away again, and we ran away again, and we ran away again, just because I didn't like the idea of being in a house and not being able to go out. But in the end, I got trapped. In the end, we went back to Melbourne. There was another lockdown. We couldn't escape from that one. So 2020, I'm not going to lie, was not amazing. You know, we lost a lot of people. And at the beginning of 2021, I was back to 10 people again. So as you can see, my business experience has been a little bit like this. And then since 2021 to today we have a team of 150 people, which we built realistically over the last 3 years. And that's a little bit of a summary of my business story. This is what my business looks like. I have operations, and I have a back-end team like everybody here, from marketing to finance to call center to HR to admin to business developer. These are my full-time employees. Then we also work with a bunch of freelancers. And this is my sales team. So we operate across 4 different cities: Melbourne, Gold Coast, Brisbane, and New Zealand. We have 55 people selling in Melbourne, 15 people selling in Gold Coast, around 60 selling in Brisbane, and 10 people selling in New Zealand. All these names that you see on the board, these are all sales managers. So these are people that started from an entry-level position. These are people that when they first started with us didn't know anything about leadership. They didn't know anything about sales. They knew nothing, and we coached them and we trained them from the ground level up to be able to run a team of 10, 15, 20 people, whatever it may be. Is everybody with me so far? Yes. Is everybody with me so far? Yes. Better. So the first takeaway here is this, right? I learned a big lesson, and I hope that this lesson is going to help you as well. When we start in business, we all have this expectation that as long as we work hard and as long as we put effort into what it is that we do, business is going to look like this. It's going to be a straight line. The more time we spend doing business, the more money we make. And when it doesn't go that way, we get angry, we get frustrated, we get sad. And that's why a lot of people quit. Because when people say to me, man, I'm not ambitious, I don't care about living a meaningful life, I don't care about goals, I always say, I don't believe you. I believe that everyone has a dream at some point, right? Come on, who doesn't have a dream? Who as a kid is like, I can't wait to just work full-time for somebody, 40 hours a week, and just work for somebody my whole life without trying anything meaningful, and then one day retire. Everybody wants to be special. But the problem is most people, they try to be special one time, they fuck it up, and they never try again. Because they think that's what it's going to look like. In reality, this is what happens. In the journey of business, in the journey of greatness, what I've learned so far, and don't get me wrong, I consider myself an entry-level business owner right now. I'm just at the beginning. I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be. But what I learned up until now is that this is more likely what's going to happen. You try your best and nothing happens for a long period of time. And then you keep trying, and then you work harder, and then you implement new things, and then you open up new projects, and you open up new divisions, but nothing fucking happened. And you start questioning yourself. Am I doing something wrong? Maybe it's never going to happen. It's like that speaker from yesterday, Mark. I really like what he said when he said that he tried something for 3 years and nothing happened until that video blew up his business. And that's usually what happens. Nothing happens. But when it does happen, then it does happen very, very, very quick. Has anybody in the room ever experienced this before, by the way? When you feel stuck and then all of a sudden, boom, you take off like a rocket ship. And everybody asks you, man, what happened? How did you do it this quickly? And you're like, quickly, motherfucker? You didn't see what was going on behind the scenes. You missed all of that. That wasn't quick at all. But look, guys, what I want to talk about today, and I was having a conversation with Tarek and David 48 hours ago, and they asked me if I could put together a little topic about how to create top performers in your business, okay? Does anyone in this room would like to have more of those, by the way? Or is there anyone that is like, no, man, I'm fully satisfied. I don't want any more top performers. Please don't give me anything else. Nobody like that? It was a tricky question, mate. Okay, how can we create more top performance in our business? Look, here's the reality. This is a very long topic, and it's definitely not a topic that you can cover in the space of 20 to 30 minutes. We could stay here for the next 3 days talking about how to create top performance in your business. So what I'm gonna do today, guys, I'm gonna give you the 5 things that to me are absolutely crucial, are absolutely important, and I'm sure that if you implement those 5 things, they're gonna make a difference for you as well. The first rule to have top performance in your business is to be very strict with your recruitment. Write this down. You gotta be very strict with your recruitment. Because sometimes we really need a new salesperson. Sometimes we need a new closer. Sometimes we really need a new lead generator, and therefore we become desperate. And when we become desperate, we hire the wrong people. We kind of have a feeling inside. Who's made that mistake before, by the way? You're desperate, you need one. So you have an interview with somebody, you have a gut feeling that that person may not be right, but you do it anyway. You don't listen to your gut feeling, you don't listen to that voice inside your belly, and you hire that person anyway. And what does usually happen when you don't listen to that gut feeling? Good things or bad things? Bad things. The worst thing that you can do to yourself is to hire the wrong people. Now, are we ever gonna be perfect? Well, we are just gonna hire perfect people. Is he ever gonna be like that? I wish, but unfortunately, we're always gonna make mistakes. And the bigger you get, and the more you delegate, and the more managers you have, the more mistakes you're gonna make, and you gotta accept that. But the goal here is to minimize the mistakes as much as possible. Okay, you guys probably heard this before. Hire slow and fire very, very fucking fast. That is true. Especially when you're desperate, do not force it. If the gut feeling is wrong, you rather not having that person in your business than hiring a toxic person in your business that is gonna jeopardize your business anyway. Because I don't know what the labor rights are in Germany. I do not know anything about Germany when it comes to employees protection, but I know that in Australia the rules are very strong. So if I hire the wrong person in Australia, it's not as easy as firing that person tomorrow morning. Is it the same in Germany? You guys have no laws for that stuff.
First 6 months it's easy, then it's fine.
Is it easy where you can fire right away without a reason? Just like that? You have a trial period, okay. In Australia, they're a little bit more strict. So we really got to watch out for that. So hire slow and think. Do not hire maybes. Whenever you think, hey, this could maybe be the person that I'm looking for, means no. Maybe means no. If he's the right person, it's yes. If he's a maybe, wrong person. Second one, when you hire people in your team, and this is not just for sales, this is for every department and every level in your company, you gotta understand this. If it's easy to get in, it's easy to get out. If the people that you hire have a feeling that was too easy to get the job with you guys, they're always gonna feel that it's gonna be very easy also to quit and to leave your companies. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense to everybody? Great. So I want to make the experience exclusive, and I never want to give the feeling that working with me is too easy. I don't know how you guys do it. How I do it is a 3-stage interview process. No matter who the person is, the person could be the best fucking person on the planet. It's still a 3-stage interview process, and they have to speak to several people in my business in order to be hired. The next one, talk big no matter what. I put this point there for a reason. I was speaking to somebody a couple of days ago. I can't remember the name, unfortunately, but this person told me, you know, my business, it's only 2 people. We have a small office. You know, I can't talk too big. I can't show too much because I don't have too much. I need to wait for my business to get bigger in order to start talking bigger. That was the conviction. Does that make sense? Always talk big no matter what, especially when you're small. Because the more you grow, the more you don't have to talk too much anymore. Does that make sense? You got the social media doing the job for you. You got a bunch of videos. You know, you got videos here, you got videos there, you got reviews, you got this, you got that. The bigger you are, the less you need to talk. But when you're small, that's when you really got to talk big. And I know sometimes it's scary, isn't it? Because they're like, man, you know, I fucking have nothing going on. How can I talk too big? Do it anyway. Do it anyway, because if you don't talk big when you're small, you're not going to attract the players that have a big level of ambition. And also, when you're small and you talk big, that's going to push yourself to also do more. Does that make sense? Because if you promise to the new people that you hire that this year your business is going to do this, and this year you guys are going to open a new location, and this year you're going to do this, and this year you're going to do that, you're committing to the people that you hire, and therefore you are more likely to achieve your goals. Does that make sense? Yeah. When I hired Braden over there, you guys have met Braden, anyone here? All right, when I hired Braden, I was renting a desk inside an office. I had nothing. That's when I lost everything. That's when I was starting again. Braden came in, he was very sharp. He was wearing a 3-piece suit, a tie, a very nice coat, a very nice bag, a very nice car. And he came in, and a lot of people would have felt intimidated. Because like, fuck, what am I going to say? You know, this guy comes from a big real estate firm, walks into my business, I'm renting a fucking desk here. And what I did say was, you know, Braden, I'm going to be honest with you. This is what happened in 2018, but this is what's going to happen this year. You give me 6 months of your time, I will show you what we are going to do together. Right now, I'm hiring the foundational salespeople in my business. These are the people that I'm going to spend the most time with. These are the people that are going to have all the opportunities down the line. This is what we are going to do together. If in 6 months from now, what I say does not transform into reality, you don't even have to quit. I will fire you myself, and I will find you another job. How does that sound? Does that make sense? You talk big, even if you're small, and especially when you're small. Any question about this one? Do you like this point? Who's made the mistake of doing the opposite? Where you're small and you talk small? Anyone? Okay, cool. The next one, talents and not employees. Above average desire to succeed. These are the people that I want. I never want to hire employees. I don't like, even when people say, I have 2 employees in my teams, I always say 2 talents, 2 team members. I don't like to use the word employees. Because when you say the word employee, what does that mean? An employee is somebody that is paid for his or her time, and is somebody supposed to work 40 hours a week. That's not what I want to hire. I want to hire talented people. I want to hire people that have an above average desire to succeed. I want to hire people that are willing to go the extra mile. I want to hire people that want to retire their parents. I want to hire people that want to be a business owner one day. I want to hire people that really want to challenge themselves. I want to hire people that are business oriented. Does that make sense? For me, I hire people based on the 3 C's. Cash, career, and culture. If you want to write it down. Cash, career, and culture. The 4th C, which is complacency, is not accepted in my business. If you're looking for cash and you want to make a lot of money, if you're looking for growth and you want to develop yourself, if you're looking for a culture of winners, you're in the right place. If you ask me a question about, hey, do we need to work until late sometimes? Hey, is it 38 hours a week or 40? Hey, if I work an extra hour on top of my employment contract, do I get paid for that? The door for you is locked and it will never be open. It's true. You want talent in your business, not employees. And that's my point number 1 with strict recruitment. Any question about the, or should we keep the question for later, Tarek, at the end? Can I move on? Is everybody clear about this? Yes. Great. Second one, onboarding. A lot of people, they underestimate the onboarding process. In my opinion, the onboarding process is one of the most important things if you truly want to develop amazing performer in your business. I don't know how you guys do it. I tell you how I do it. Hopefully you can have some takeaways. You might do it better than me. I don't know. I'm going to share it anyway. Okay, and hopefully you can have some takeaways. First thing that I do, when somebody is hiring the business, I give them a final phone call. I say, hey, Jimmy, congratulations for getting the job, blah, 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 blah. What's going to happen next, Jimmy? We are going to arrange an induction training day where you're going to come in for a full day. You're going to sign the employment contract, and we're going to give you a bunch of sales training provided. Before that induction sales training day, there are 2 things that you need to do. If you don't do those 2 things, employment doesn't start. Number 1, You need to come to the induction sales training day with the pitch fully memorized, and you gotta be able to deliver the pitch, the sales pitch. Number 2, I onboard them into a sales platform with 15 videos. They need to watch all these videos and they need to pass the quizzes in all these videos as well. These are the 2 conditions of employment. One of the videos that they have in the sales platform, it's called, you can write this down maybe if you want to do something similar, it's called The Importance of Learning Sales in Your Life. It's a 12 minutes video that I recorded myself, and my goal through that video is to sell people on why learning sales is an amazing investment that everybody should make in their 20s, when everybody should make when they're young. Because when people start working in sales, I want them to have a big why. I want them to have a big reason of why they want to get good at sales. And in that video, I simply explained this. I explained that sales is the #1 skill in business and in life that you can have. No matter what job it is that you want to do. Because a lot of people, they start working in sales, but maybe they don't want to be in sales forever. Does that make sense? Some people want to be a lawyer. Some people want to be a doctor. Some people want to be an architect. But no matter what job you do in your life, you're going to spend 50 to 60% of that job selling something to somebody anyway. A lawyer is still selling, is it not? An architect is still selling the projects, are they not? They're all selling. So through that video, I want them to understand that learning sales is going to be a good investment anyway. And then I highlight the danger of not learning sales in that video. And I explain this to people. There are a lot of people in this world that suffer from anxiety or they suffer from depression because they are lonely. But the reason why they are lonely is not because they are bad people, it's because they can't sell themselves. There are a lot of people that are so special, but they're always single. And they cannot find the husband or the wife that they're looking for. And the reason why they don't find those people is because they can't sell themselves. There are people that are so stressed that at the age of 22 years old, they already have gray hair. They are stressed because they don't have money. They're stressed because they can't find a job. And the reason why they can't find a job is because of what? They can't sell themselves. When they have a job interview, they don't know how to do it. There are a lot of amazing businesses in this world with a lot of amazing ideas that shut down, they close their doors and they don't succeed. And why do they shut down? Because they can't sell. Does that make sense? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Cool. I can't really read the crowd here. Is he beneficial so far? Are you guys sure? Yeah. There is a big difference between German and Italians, eh? But yeah, so the goal of that video, guys, is to really sell a need. I want them to start working my business and have a strong reason for wanting to learn sales. Okay? My main pitch of people learning sales, it's always about the character that you can develop, the person that you can become as a consequence of learning sales and as a consequence of mastering sales. So again, onboarding process, guys, basic sales skills, make sure that they watch some videos, whatever your sales training material is. Make sure that they memorize fully the pitch before coming in for their induction training day, and make sure that they have a bigger reason to do sales. Make sure that they're not just starting for a job, they are starting for an experience, they are starting for an adventure. They are focusing on the person that they can become as a consequence of working with you. Because when people have a deeper reason to do something, guess what they do? They work harder. They try harder. Because there is a big why behind it and there is a big mission behind it. Does that make sense to everybody? Can I move on? Can I move on? Yes. Great. The next one, this is me talking about the importance of sales. This was 4 years ago. I got a little bit older since then. Moving on. When I start salespeople, okay, to get them up to speed faster, you really got to make sure that everybody that you train understands that how you deliver your sales pitch is way more important than what you say in your sales pitch. The delivery of the sales pitch is 90%. The content of the sales pitch is 10%. Now, obviously, everybody needs to have the product knowledge. Obviously, everybody needs to learn what to say in the pitch. But the difference before the top performing salespeople and the people that always struggle to make a fucking sale always comes down to the delivery. You guys have listened to Jordan Belfort before, did you not? Yeah. when he opened in the movie, he was speaking about this in Monaco actually, there is a scene where he decided to set up his own company. And they're all there sitting at the table, they're all pitching. And Jordan said, everybody at the time came to me and said, Jordan, I understand that you gave me this sales pitch, but I can't even deliver it because people always block me after 10 seconds. And that's when Jordan realized that people did not block him. But everybody else was getting stopped. Everybody else was getting blocked. Everybody was saying exactly the same shit. But customers were listening to Jordan and they were not listening to his employees. Why? Because of the delivery. Because of the delivery. It's funny. Even when I train salespeople, sometimes they say the sales pitch and they forget a line, they forget a sentence. So they're paranoid because they're like, man, I forgot to say that. And my answer is always, don't fucking worry because the customer doesn't know the pitch. The customer is not there on the phone checking line by line and be like, wait a second, I stop you there. You forgot to mention that question. And it's crazy because the amount of people working inside are like, oh, I fucked it up. I fully forgot to say this. And I'm like, nobody fucking knows. It's just in your head. But if you start thinking about that too much, guess what's going to happen to your results? Up or down? Down. Makes sense. So in order to master the delivery, guys, I'm going to give you a very, very simple tip, and I want you to write this down. Because to master the delivery of your pitch, you listen to Jordan Belfort, what does he say? You need to be sharp as a tack, you need to be enthusiastic as hell, and you need to be an authority in your field. You guys have heard those three things before, have you not? He says that you got 4 seconds, after 4 seconds the conversation is over. What scares me sometimes, people hear that, and they're like, all right, I got to be an authority in my field. I got to be enthusiastic as hell. I'm going to be sharp as a tack. I know what to do, but the question is, how the fuck do I do it? Not everybody can get it done. So I'm going to give you a very simple tip today that if you focus on this, is going to increase your results quite a lot. Because learning the delivery of the pitch is the most complicated part. Okay? Mastering tonality is the most complicated part. Because once you become a master at tonality, once you learn when to lower your voice, when to raise your voice, once you learn all these little things, then you have mastered the art of selling. The problem with that is to learn that takes some time. Does that make sense? It's not something overnight you have mastered. That's the most difficult part. Most of the sales don't go through because the salesperson speaks too much, because the salesperson is raising the voice at the wrong time, is lowering the voice at the wrong time. It's always about tonality. The way you deliver things. Your tonality delivers a subconscious message to every customer. What you say doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is how people perceive what it is that you say. Does that make sense? If I pick up a phone, I'm like, hello, am I speaking to John? What did I just say is, am I speaking to John? What I'm really saying is, excuse me, sir, I'm shitting my pants. Please do not be rude to me and do not give me an objection. Otherwise, I'm going to cry and I'm probably going to quit my job. Does that make sense? But it's true. What you say, nobody cares. Is what do they hear? What does the customer perceive? And that's what we got to teach to our salespeople if you want to build a fucking army. Bottom line, guys, focus on this. Physiology, write this down. I'm going to explain to you what this means if you don't understand it. Physiology creates psychology. Physiology creates psychology, which dictates tonality. Physiology creates psychology, and psychology dictates tonality. Follow me on this one. Just listen to me. I don't want you to be lost. What is physiology? Physiology is your body language. If you want to write it down. Physiology is the way you sit down, the way you stand. It's your body posture. Your body language creates your psychology. Meaning, your body language creates how you feel about yourself. Write this down. Depending on how you stand, depending on how you sit down, you trigger certain emotions in your brain and you feel about yourself in a certain way. And if you feel good about yourself, what happens to your tonality? Good or bad? Naturally good. And I can prove it to you guys. Try, stand up with me. We do an experiment together. Do this. Give me a body language. Actually, I'm going to give you a scenario here. Do you have a partner?
No. I have two actually.
No, I'm talking wife, girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay. So, are you sure that you recorded this? Because at least we can ask him some money in return of not sending the clip to his girlfriend or wife. Okay. So do me a favor. I'm gonna give you a scenario here. Yeah. Touching booty is not gonna happen. But pretend that is he wife or partner? Wife or partner? Wife or girlfriend? Partner. Pretend that your girlfriend just calls you right now and say, I want to break up with you. I'm done. Simultaneously, your two business partners, they call you and they say, we lost all the money in the business. There was a lawsuit, and we just lost everything. Everybody quit.
Yeah, I would stand like this.
Simultaneously, somebody hacks your bank account and they steal all the money that you have there. The worst fucking day ever. How would you stand? What would be the body language?
Someone like this.
Okay, now do that body language with me. Look down, look down. Try to smile at the same time. Smile.
Yeah, smile.
Does it feel very difficult? Very difficult? It's not natural. Now do this with me. Pretend that your partner calls you right now and she says this, you know what? I just wanted to give you a call because I was thinking about how special you are and I'm so grateful that I'm with you. Pretend that that's happening. Pretend that your two business partner, they give you a call and they say, man, we got a news, man. We just landed a fucking client and in one day we doubled the overall company revenue. It's a multi-trillion-dollar company. They signed a deal with us. Show me what that body language looks like. And then pretend that magically somehow money appears in your bank. And you're like, oh, fuck, I don't even know who sent me this money. An extra €500,000 appears in your bank. Give me that body language. Try to smile right now. Does it feel more natural to smile? Okay, do you feel more happy in your head? Sit down. Thank you very much. Give him a round. Give him a round. What I'm trying to say, can I just steal your chair for a second? Sorry. What I'm trying to say here is this. The first thing that I check when people do sales is, I'll give it to you back in a second, is how do they sit? Because if somebody is sitting like this and they're curving ahead with their shoulder down, looking down on their laptop, they're not going to do any fucking sale. Does that make sense? So the first thing that I fix is you throw your shoulders back, you sit straight, you put a big smile on your face, you push your eyebrows up. I get people to do this with their finger. Push them up, put a big smile on your face, straight back. How do you feel right now? I'm feeling better already. Guess what's going to happen to their delivery right now? It's going to be much better. Because here's the thing about selling something on the phone, guys. People think since I'm selling something on the phone, nobody can see me. They can't see you. Not physically, but they create a mental image of what you look like. And if you're selling like this, the mental image that they have about you, it's about some miserable salesperson wearing shorts, maybe without a shirt with a beer on the table, giving them a call. If you teach your people how to fix their body language, they envision a professional person giving them a call, which is completely different. Does that make sense to everybody here? Thank you very much. Give me a round of applause as well for doing some squats. Right? Does that make sense to everyone? Any question about this? Yes. Cool? Yes. You liked it? Yes. Okay, great. So physiology creates psychology, which dictates tonality. Always focus on that. And if you have people selling in your company, always walk around. How are they sitting down is going to dictate the way they sell. Monitor that, because it makes a much bigger difference than what you might believe. How am I going with time, Tarek? I don't know, 3:30 maybe? Start.
Okay, so you already went over 15 minutes.
Ah, right.
We can start the break in 30 minutes if you want. And then we do the break and then we do the Q&A.
Okay, so I'll just finish. I got 2 more points. Are you guys okay if I speak 10 to 15 more minutes? Is that cool?
Yes.
Nobody is annoyed about that? You're not annoyed? No? Cool. All right, the next one. How do I create high-performing salespeople? The overturns. The overturns. You really got to focus on teaching your salespeople how to overturn objections. Because I was saying this the other night. Sales is the easiest job in the world. And I tell you why sales is the easiest job in the world. Because the objections that we face on a daily basis are always the same. Are they not? They're always the same. What are some of the objections that we face? Who wants to share with me some? When we try to sell something. Yes? I have no time. Have you guys heard that one before? That's called a stall objection, meaning it's a bullshit objection. It's not real. They're just trying to get rid of you. So we got stall objections. What else? Yes? What's that?
No interest.
Not interested. Have we heard that one before? Stall objection again. What else? Yeah?
I have to think about it.
I have to think about it. Anyone has faced that one before? Cool. What else? What else do we have? Yeah?
I have to sleep about it.
I have to sleep on it. I have to think about it. Yeah, kind of the same thing. Yeah?
Don't have the budget.
Don't have a budget. I don't have the money. Yeah? What else? Yeah?
No money.
I have no money. Yeah? What else? I have to speak to my partner. Yeah? What else?
I've got a different one already.
I got a different one already. I'm with one of your competitors. What else?
I'm good right now.
I'm good right now. What else? Isn't it funny? Every time I do this exercise, when people are like, man, sales is tough. And I'm like, really? What makes it difficult? People always give me objections. You know, and every day is different because people are different. I'm like, okay. What are the objections? 7, 8, and then they're like, oh, fuck, I think that's it. Does that make sense? Most salespeople, they live in fear. And if that's the case, you want to change that with your team. Because this is how most salespeople live. They walk into a conversation, they walk into a phone call, they walk into a Zoom meeting, whatever it is that you do, and this is what they think. I hope that I'm not going to receive this objection. I really hope. Because I'm really not good at overturning the I want to speak to my partner objection. I want to think about an objection, whatever it may be. Most salespeople, they live in fear and they hope that the objection is not going to come. And more often than not, that fucking objection always comes. And when they receive it, how do they react to it? With fear. With fear. My sister is a professional horse rider. She rides horses. The number one rule of horse riding is if you're afraid when you're riding a horse, the horse kicks you off. Do you guys know that? What about people that, you know, the bullies in high school? The bullies, when somebody is a bully to other people? Do they bully the strong ones or do they bully the fearful ones? Do you understand my question? Strong or fear? People that are fearful, they always get bullied, don't they? They get bullied by the horse and they get bullied by the bullies at school. So if the customer can perceive fear in your voice, what do you think the customer is going to do to you? He's going to bully you. It's a natural fucking behavior. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to say it. And if you get bullied again and again and again and again and again, how do you feel by the end of the day? Tired? Yes? You feel exhausted, don't you? And that's when sales becomes very difficult. When we can't sleep anymore and your salespeople wake up and they got the eye circle that are almost as big as mine. Does that make sense? So teach your people how not to live in fear. Coaching people about objection handling is one of the most important things. And every time that I have a problem in my business sales-wise, I always go back to this. I always teach two things. How to do a proper introduction and how to overturn objections. As soon as I teach those two topics, sales double. Always. Always. The most important one is the introduction. The second most important one is the close and the overturns. Period. Because pretty much in every interaction we're going to get objections, are we not? And the way we respond about those objections are going to determine whether I get bullied or I don't. Number two, importance of internal objection. I might actually skip this one, otherwise I'm really going to go over time. I go straight to number three. Number three, teach your people that the overturns, when I say overturns, do you understand what I mean? The templates that we use to overturn objections? Do we all understand, or Tara needs to... All good? You need to teach your salespeople that overturning... All good? You need to teach your salespeople that overturning objection, it's a tool of reassurance, not a tool of confrontation. And that's where a lot of people miss out on deals. I want to think about it. Oh, you want to think about it? They almost attack the customer. Overturning objection is a tool to give customers reassurance. I want to think about it. That's cool, man. I hear what you're saying. And look, I don't blame you. You just met me. But if you don't mind me asking you obviously like the idea of this program and what it is that we do here, don't you? I do. Look, that's awesome that you say that. Let me just tell you one last thing before I let you go. The true beauty of our, and then you continue. The way I overturn the first objection is literally Jordan Belfort by the book. And that's what I started following 4 years ago. And once I understood that when I overturn an objection, I need to make, like your job when you overturn objection is for the customer to think, thank you for understanding me. If the customer thinks, fuck you, you arrogant piece of shit, you're not listening to anything that I'm saying, you're not going to win the sale. So teach people that, I apologize for swearing this much, by the way, in Australia, that's what we do. In Germany, you might be more polite. But anyway, moving on. If you use overturns as a team of reassurance, that's going to change the game versus a tool of confrontation. And understanding this sentence, I read this sentence from Grant Cardone, was probably 6-7 years ago, and since then, that really impacted me quite a lot. Closing represents 10% of your selling time, but 100% of your income and your future. Selling and closing are two very different topics. Somebody can be sold on something, but they're not necessarily closed. Do you understand? You can walk into a Louis Vuitton shop, right? You walk in, you try this nice jacket. You're like, man, I love this jacket. Your girlfriend, your wife is there with you. She's like, oh my God, babe, you look amazing. Let me take some picture. You're like, man, this jacket, I love it. How much is it? 21,000 euros. And you might go like this, you know what? I'm actually not sure that I like it anymore. You were sold on the jacket, but you are not closed on the jacket. Do you understand? And that's why teaching people how to close, it's super important, because selling, it's one thing. Closing is the job. Closing is the job. And the sale doesn't start until you get the first objection. If I make a sale and I don't receive any objection, I'm always very afraid. I'm like, this is weird. Why did I not receive at least one concern, at least one objection? I'm always overthinking. I'm like, maybe it was one of my competitors pretending to be a customer to see our sales pitch. I always think shit like that. Because I'm like, that's what I would do. You know, you never know. It's like, it's normal that you receive objection. It's the human tendency. Okay? And then, guys, closing off, you got the overturns. I'm going to explain this very quickly. If you want people to perform at the highest level, you got to do what Tim Kennedy said yesterday, which is the main leadership ability that you can develop is getting your people to do what you want them to do, but they need to think that it's their decision and it's their choice. How do I do that? Whenever I hire a new employee, whenever I hire a new team member, whenever I hire a new talent, a new salesperson, after 10 days of them working with me, because, you know, the first 10 days we're getting to know each other, we're getting into it. After 10 days, I usually sit them down and I have the action goal conversation with everyone that I hire. And the action goal conversation goes as follows. Number one, what's your goal? You know, what's your name? Sorry, man?
Lucas.
Lucas. So I sit down, Lucas, and I'm like, Lucas, how are you, man?
Very good. You?
Yeah, very good. Thank you for asking. So look, you obviously started working with us 10 days ago. I just want to catch up with you to see how your experience is going and to see how you're finding everything. So how do you find everything so far, Lucas? Do you like it?
Yeah, really nice atmosphere. Yeah,
Okay.
I learned a lot already.
Okay. And what are the main things that you really enjoyed about working with us? What are some of the things that really stood out to you and you're really, really loving? Tell me.
It's the culture, seeing people thrive, and I see myself there getting really skilled
Yeah.
and earn a lot of money.
Okay. So I'm glad that you say that, man. So you can see that you can learn a lot by working with us, yeah?
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. And look, let me ask you, is there anything that you haven't enjoyed? Is there anything at all that happened over the last 10 days that I may don't know, something that we could improve, something that you didn't really like? Is there anything at all, man?
For now, I'm really hyped. So now everything is very good.
Are you sure?
Yes.
100%. Not even that small little thing, everything. Come on, man. Not everything can be perfect. There must be something little.
I mean, I lose lose weight because I'm not eating and just selling, but that's a good thing.
Okay. That could be a good thing. Yeah, that could. Let's make sure that you eat moving forward. Okay. But look, man, now that you've been working with us for 10 days, I want to ask you, what's your goal? Like, what would you like to achieve here by working with us? Where would you like to go? Like, what's your goal, man? How can we actually help you getting where it is that you want to go? Tell me.
I mean, I want to earn a lot of money.
Yeah?
Because in 10 years, I want to have such an amount of money to enjoy life, have a family.
Okay, that's great. So you want to be financially free, yeah? And when you say that you want to earn a lot of money, how much are we talking, man? Do you have a figure in mind?
I mean, a few millions.
Few millions?
Yeah.
What's a few million? A few 10 millions or 1 or 2 million?
I mean, in 10 years, it should be like 30 millions, but for the next 2 years, 1 million at least, yeah.
Okay, so what would you like to earn by the end of this year? What's your target, man?
500,000.
500,000. Are you sure about that? Cool. I love, man. I respect that. Look, man, the reality is this, Lucas. I can help you earning that 500,000 euros a year. My question to you, man, do I have your permission to help you? Do I have your permission to coach you to get there to your goal, yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so if I have the permission to coach you, man, this is what you can expect from me. This is what you can expect from me. And then you can say whatever it is that they can expect from you. You can expect from me that I'm going to be 100% honest with you, man. Is that cool with you?
Absolutely.
You can expect from me that I'm going to push you because your target is very high, man. So you got to understand that to achieve that target, you're going to need to work very hard. And you can expect from me that I'm going to push you. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay. You can expect from me, man, that as long as you're willing to work hard and as long as you're dedicated to this profession, I will give you my time. Like if you need my help, if every now and then you got to see me on the weekend or you want to learn extra things outside of work, I'll be there. That's what you can expect from me. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And continue the list, whatever it is that they expect from you. Now, Lucas, here's the thing though, man. I love that you want to earn 500K. I told you what you can expect from me, but in order for me to help you, there are a few things that I need you to provide and deliver. Otherwise, this is not going to work. Let's go through this together. If you want to earn 500,000 euros a year, Lucas, you always have to be on time every single day. Otherwise, I'm not going to take you seriously. Is that cool?
Yeah.
You got to be the most dressed, the better dressed person in the office. Is that cool?
Yeah.
You got to study. You got to read books, blah, blah, blah. Is that cool? And here you write the list. So now, the next time when Lucas is late, rather than getting angry and be like, what the fuck, man, you're 10 minutes late, this is how I approach it. Hey, man, how are you? Cool, man. Look, I'm going to be honest, Luke, I'm actually a little bit confused. Because you told me 1 week ago that your goal is to achieve 500,000 euros a year, and we agreed that you had to be on time every single day, but today you're late.
Yeah, man, I fucked up. Won't
Okay.
be happening again.
That's all right. But here's what I want to ask you, man. We have two choices. Either we're going to change that goal. Maybe 500,000 euros in the first year is too much, so maybe we need to change the goal. Or we need to make sure that we actually deliver what it is that we promise. What would you prefer to do, man?
The second one.
Are you sure? 100%. So you're never going to be late again?
Yeah.
You promise?
Yeah.
You promise?
Absolutely.
Cool. I like it. Let's go back to work, man. I'll see you soon. Boom. Does that make sense? That's very different than, Lucas, what the fuck, you're late. In your employment contract, we've wrote the time. Go to work, man. You're late. Shut up. I don't want to talk to you. I hate you. Make sense? Because people don't like to be told what to do they? But in this case, he told me something. He made a promise. I'm not getting angry. I'm just confused. You made a promise, man. You can't keep your promises. That's your problem, not mine. What do you want to do? Do you want to change the goal or do you want to change the actions? Boom. And that's how you push people to become top performers. So again, guys, strict recruitment, number 1. Do you remember that one? Cool. Onboarding, make sure that they have a big reason to do sales. They understand the importance of sales. Teach them the overturns, okay? Teach them how to do a proper delivery and make sure that after 10 days of working with somebody, you have the action goal conversation. I hope I managed to provide you a lot of value, and thank you very much, everybody.
All right.